Alright, good morning, everyone. Ooh. Hey, welcome, Mr. Sam. What's on, brother? Yeah, good question. I guess it's waiting for a failed breakdown at structural areas. So in this case, we're going to be waiting for either the reclaim of the 7360 or a failed breakdown of the overnight low, which is set 7305. The failed breakdowns, lows, structural lows, in this case the structural low is at 305, which is where we broke out of and rejected aggressively. It's also where the gamma flip was yesterday. Waiting for a probe below, hold, and then push back above. Or a reclaim of the 360, which was yesterday's, which is currently where the Bell area low for the week is. A reclaim back above. Holding back above. So either they come in here, test this low, fail to break down, we go long, or they show some strength, reclaim this level, go higher. One or the other. Right now it seems like we're going for the overnight low. They're holding the current pull on is low at 47. I like this reclaim here, this small one. What's that? 335? Yeah, that one's small. See if that holds up or not. Put a bid right at the point of control area. If they come back and retest. But it seems like they try to swipe this low here. This low. Swiped it, held, and go higher. Right here where that put wall is as well. That was a little too slow on the entry. I ripped. I'm way past that area. If they fill me at 60 here, seems like there's a reaction right at the area, but I'm looking for a probe into it so I can get filled. Okay, got filled. Stop will have to go at the low of the current spike down, see if that holds. And this ends up being a failed breakdown of this little low right here. Pretty violent open. You can see that Nasdaq's getting rejected. It's popped all morning. First target up will be the overnight high, and then we'll go from there. Ready, hard squeeze. We'll take some off right here at the 80s. Oops. Okay. Okay, so I scaled some here at 380. And then see if they continue to the overnight high. ONH. Overnight high is 93, so we'll take another one. I got trailed out. Yeah, let's see. I think it trailed me out based on the rules. Let's see. Yeah, it trailed me out. 568. Cool. Kind of sucks the trail, but it locks in the $500 gain. This is likely going to break the overnight high. Assume at like the next 13 points up. If it holds above the overnight high, it likely can squeeze pretty hard. Actually, the real level is the 403. There, it's coming for that overnight high. Pretty close. There's a squeeze. Yeah, the Nasdaq is just ripping too through all of this. Shit. So what I'll be doing is waiting for the IB now to settle for the next trade. Once the IB is set, which is going to be in about 50 minutes, for a continuation trade thereafter. But for now, I took the long, it worked out, played, trailed out on a minor pullback, but no problem. What data feed are you using on Jigsaw? It's rhythmic data feed. Hey, good morning, man. Welcome back. Yeah, I modified it so it trails the P&L. So it's let me see, let me explain. So it got trailed out on the long, it was up 500, which triggers the trail. The trail essentially is profit trigger value. If it gets above 505, then it triggers a trail. And then the profit value to flatten if it goes below after peaking at 505, it goes below 450, trails me out. The position entirely. So goal is to just get that 400 base hit area on the majority of the position. And if there happens to be a continuation thereafter, I'll re-enter. I got trailed out on that one for now. And then if there's a continuation later, we will re-enter later. I think for prop firm, the win rate is higher for the better. Yeah, more or less. I mean, it's win rate could be higher, but then you also have to consider, I guess, the win to loss ratio, the R factor. But yeah, I agree. I have I usually use a I have a position sizer next to me. So if I my risk per trade, I'm always calculating it before entering a trade, and then I size it according to that. So I put where might my stop be, and my stop would have been below 35. My entry was 360, so I knew that if I wanted to risk 700, it would be 5 lots. So I always just put those numbers in before entering a trade, according to the risk I'm willing to put up. What is Kelly? Not sure what that is. Kelly. Formula to determine optimal factor of bankroll. Oh, no, but that's interesting. Should probably look into that. Thanks for mentioning it. Mathematical formula determines optimal fraction of bankroll to wager or invest on a repeated basis. That is actually somewhat what I am doing, but this is actually a formula, so I'll definitely be using this. Depends for betting percentage of remaining capital rather than fixed amount. Your bet shrinks when you lose. Oh yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. I didn't even know that this was a formula. Yeah, it accounts for the drag or the variance on compounded returns. But yes, this is exactly what I'm doing. I didn't know that there was a formula for this. Pretty cool. Thanks for mentioning it. It'll increase or decrease depending on the performance overall and allocation of the overall account. So yes, it's dynamically changing with the account balance. Exactly. And just flipping your account. You're like just trying to pressing the account's risk. So what's the what do you trade with? What firm? filling the 150k gain. Oh, what's that? It requires 5 days. Oh, okay, I gotcha. 105 days of 150. Gotcha. 5 days of 150. That makes sense. Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking when I read that. Cool. Slow and steady, consistent, you know? I mean, 150 on 3 micros is not, it's pretty good baseline. Like 10 points. You know, 10 points on 3 micros. Nothing crazy, it's great. I'm just gonna wait. So we got 30 minutes to the IB forms. We're really just very close to the overnight high. They keep failing to break out of it. And Q came shy of breaking out the overnight as well. Here's a chart I have on another screen. They can hold over this area right here, the overnight high area. If they can hold over that, we can come back to the 80s again. Hold over it, you come back into this area again. The big levels, that's really why it's very difficult to break over it. They tried overnight, failed. They will likely try again today, see if it works out or not, because if they hold that area, they certainly can break out pretty hard. Today's actually a high pin risk. The high pin risk, given the max pain is at 444. Where is that at? Above all of this, really. Interesting. Get with that with Cloud, bro. What's up, Cloud? And then actually, we're actually short Delta today, too. That's pretty odd. I mean, a lot of puts getting bid within the last few days. We were long Delta for a while, now we're short Delta, so... Yeah, even yesterday we were long Delta on the 0 DTE. The weekly call chain is short Delta. It's been short Delta since Monday. And then today, now that even the short dated stuff is short Delta. It explains probably some of this push up is so strong. Probably because of the short Delta regime. All short Delta this week? Yeah, that's what I'm... Exactly. I mean, for me yesterday, the 0 DT didn't say we were short Delta. Maybe if I refreshed it midday, I likely would have gone short Delta after that sell. But the weekly was short Delta right off the bat come Monday open. So certainly, yeah, it's been all week. That's likely part of the reason we sold off so hard yesterday. You should try aggregating the option chain. What do you mean by that? Like aggregating the option chain? Compiling all the options, notional, like all the money spent on the option chain, or what do you mean by aggregating it? The GEX level might not be significant, but the HVL is more accurate. Oh, the notional? Well, what do you do with the notional? Do you aggregate it to know where the max pain is, the overall increase in nominal spend for the option chain? What would that do? I can do it, I just don't know what it'll pull. To decide the odd of the price going to the extreme. Oh, the volatility. I'm kind of discretionary trader, so it helps a lot. So the spot volatility to decide the odd of price going to the extreme. So the extreme meaning as in like the call wall or the put wall or the gamma flip. What extreme do you reference when you aggregate them? I never thought of it in that way, so this is new to me. So I appreciate, you know, kind of giving me some info here. But I've never thought of it in terms of aggregating it and then seeing the odds of it testing the extreme. The only question I have is what is the extreme 70% of the volume RTH? Oh, the edges of the volume for the current RTH or prior RTH? I assume the prior RTH, right? Because since the current one's still developing. The current one. Okay. So if the aggregate is over X amount, then there's a high probability where you test both sides. You only trade the current. And the current one you use, is it full session or just RTH open only? RTH session, okay. Well, you know what? As you're talking about that, I actually, someone else from the Substack requested that I put in the max pain. The max pain for the current options pull for the chain. And that actually is very helpful. Do you use that? Don't use it typically. Oh. So the confluence this morning with the pull it up here. The confluence this morning is that the put wall is at 7347, where we're at right here. Kind of where we opened and immediately rejected. The max pain's at 7444. So above yesterday's, kind of near yesterday's highs. So if the max pain, they want to gravitate closer to max pain as they can to devalue the most amount of options possible, which includes the short dated puts, which in this case would be anything from yesterday purchased. In order to do that, they'll have to move it price up to the 7444, which is what, like 50 points from where we're at now, and about 100 points from where we were at the open. So it's likely why they defended the put wall so quickly this morning, because the max pain is at 100 points above. So killing these all the puts below that would likely need it. That's such a strong push. It makes sense looking at it from that angle. The max pain essentially is telling you where dealers would like price to be at to devalue the most amount of options possible from what was purchased the day before, or day, yeah, in this case the day before, since I pulled it this morning. As the day goes on, the max pain probably shifts later. For stop loss runs, yeah, you can. Sorry, doing something on another screen and I needed this space. So it pays value is really great to use. You can have it open, observe it, no need to trade it first. How long do you wait for the value to develop before you initiate trade? So I would assume you need some of the value to develop first before you make that reference, right? Like maybe half an hour, 1 hour. I'm trying the first 15 when volume is thicker. I start to use it a little bit after the first 15, or anytime volume thickens out. I think unfortunately I had to enter early this morning. I think I did enter within that period. 41, yeah. Just like right within that area, within the first 15. Hey, Mr. Nightfire, what's up, man? Good evening. How are you doing, Mr. Knifeheart? I watched a video from the previous market maker in Asia. The guy said that after the RTH opened, the only indicator that he is useful for those being dynamic. That makes sense. I mean, if you are a dynamic trader, then yeah, you need something that's evolving with the auction. So that makes sense. With that also said, if you're looking for something dynamic, do you also use VWAP and its bands as a dynamic indicator, or only the volume profile? Bit of a headache. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. Lack of sleep, or what's going on, Mr. Knifeheart? I know it's late out there. Are you getting sick? They're trying to squeeze past this area, dude. They left an imbalance below. That's massive. Time is it? 7:15. Definitely a lack of sleep type week, man. That makes sense. Sometimes, lack of sleep gives me a headache too. It's not the weather because I'm in the AC most of the time. Yeah. Yeah, probably sleep for sure. How many hours you typically get? Or need, I guess. Espresso will help. I don't disagree. I guess we'll follow up with that same question again since you brought it up. What's the drink of choice for AM trading? Coffee. Did I say that wrong? Water. Got tea. I guess tea. I don't even know if anyone drinks tea. I need three like what, single shots or three triple shots? What are we talking, man? What do you look for in Dom? Pretty much like the pick. Oh, someone did pick tea. I did not expect that. That's the last option I expect someone to pick. Holy shit. Oh shit. What do you see? Oh, sorry, I'm missing a question here. What do you look for in Dom? I think the pace more than anything, the delta column. So the delta being accumulated at a significant area or level. Primarily the two biggest things I will look at: the pace and delta. If trading outside of 70% volume, I am front running the liquidity like I expected. If I get 7 hours, it's solid. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I agree. Not everyone needs, some people can function off less. I need at least 3 before I can even function. 3. It's a lot of volatility here. I'm waiting for the IB to be set for the next trade here. Doubles, brother. These kids keep me up all night. Curse. That's hilarious. 3 doubles, man. That's 6 shots. Diluted or just like that? Warm water would be okay. Warm water. That's a first. That's wow. First thing to do is swish out the salt water. Get all the bacteria out before drink anything. Alrighty. Well, that makes sense. Why the warm water? Water is best. Oh yeah, that's right. You're in Hong Kong, right? What time is it in Hong Kong? Let's see. I was there once for a layover. $10 p.m. Wow. One as soon as I wake up when she takes them to school, and one before I hit the jar. These are scheduled, huh? It's funny. Oh, we got a lot of engagement on that one. One as soon as I wake up. That's crazy. I can't say that's crazy because I drink an energy drink when I wake up. So we're open. I mean, I think the open today is open in auction, man. I think if we go back and maybe we can discern this together, but let's see. Where did ES open relative to prior range? Open inside. In the first 5 minutes, what is price doing? I mean, it did cross, but it pretty much had... This is the tough question here. So it wasn't light volume, that's for sure. We had a big move. We had a strong open with no return to the open. Right? Would you guys agree? Open was right here at 7355. Came in, tested it from above, and then ramped. Open drive. Kind of did do this in the first 5 minutes already. It came in, strong drive, came back and tested the open right here. The open retested the first bar's range high. But it is kind of choppy. I think it resonates more with the this one here. Let me tell you. Let me get this here. Open auction. No entries before IB print. Both sides are active, trapping early movers. Wait for IB set. Identify which side breaks. Trade confirmation only. Something like that. Today's a tricky one, I will say, but we're not breaking past anything. If anything, we might stay within yesterday's range. Seems like that might be the case. Still early, but we have not had any significant breaks past yesterday's priority high or priority low, just because yesterday was such a wide range. It's more of an open auction, I would say. Neither side has conviction yet. See, it's price discovery. Given yesterday's massive move both ways, this kind of lines up. Here are like the 5 opens, right? Gap up, gap down, definitely not. 392 is settlement, yeah. And they hit it and rejected. Open drive. First bar, no return. Volume is one-sided, above average. IB wide and directional. Like I can see the open drive for sure. Open test drive. This one didn't do it because we didn't test long wick into overnight high or low. Not necessarily. Open cross 2 times in 30 minutes. No, it did not. So it's not open in auction. It might be open drive, honestly, because it says also no bar, 8 to 10 points from the open. It would have to be both ways. I guess it did kind of do that, but it didn't really do it twice. 7355 minus 7335. It's 20 points down. 7355 minus what? 7365. Balance day below average. Open in range. Auction between. Oh, sorry, that's my journal. What was that? Open between priority high and priority low. Tight band, light volume. There's no light volume. This is definitely a pretty aggressive volume. No move towards extremes. Yeah. I don't know. Pretty messy day so far. We have a strong directional move and things are just kind of settling out. It seems like they're trying to take out whatever liquidity is there at the highs at 90s. Because 90 is a massive level. Let me draw it out. Where is my... Why I have TPO and volume profile? Is that what you're asking? The rectangle. Oh. So I like to see the behavior between both. There are times where there might be a lot of TPO, a bigger TPO, a bit more time spent, but not much volume transacted. Or there are times where there is a lot of volume spent, a lot of volume transacted, but very little time. Those divergences between the two gives a lot of context. So if we even just reference, for example, yesterday's low, you can see clearly in this situation here. Ton of volume. Not much time. There's only one period here. Relative to that, the volume is relatively high. That's a significant excess low. It's an excess low on a TPO profile with a lot of transactions below it. The divergence tells me a lot. And I referenced it on the newsletter too. That excess right there, excess with the amount of auctioning at the low, it really set the foundation for what I think what could be a local low for now. Like a current weekly low. And you see something like that. Because on this, you can see here there's 2 time periods, very little volume, right? So you can see it doesn't happen often when you get that. So those two together give me that confluence that potentially there's a local low being made. Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. They're breaking out here. I'm sorry? That from yesterday? It's funny. So if we break out of this area, let me see my arrows. Where's the IB? Yeah, 6 minutes. If we break here, this is a huge area. We can break above this. Certainly can hold over this. Probably coming into that call wall. It holds there. This is kind of the pivot pretty much. If you see of the week, the entire range, it's like the midpoint. Holds that, and you got the value high tested. So we got acceptance back inside the current weekly value area. Come back to the midpoint, 34, and then after that, if they hold that, then you have the value high. I don't know if they'll hit that today. I mean, it's a 100-point move from where we're at now. We've had a lot of volatility. It's not to say it's not possible, but I would be very surprised if that happens. We likely would need some news for that push into that area. I think that's a target for maybe the end of the week or yeah, the end of the week because tomorrow's Thursday. So this is a key area right here. This zone right here is massive. Whatever happens here is going to be critical. So either break. Huh? What's the app called? Let me. I think it's called Step. Oh. Venmo? I'm not saying anything. I'm changing my song. Oh. Okay. The dead band check first. Looks like we got quite a few votes. See, everyone voted already. Mostly coffee. Interesting. Okay, cool. We got 3 minutes to the IBSA here. Yeah, the sellers are very active. You can see this area is definitely going to be important for them. They keep wicking out. Where we broke out, failed to break out yesterday. Broke down yesterday. A massive level. The IB is about to be set in 1 minute. See what they do here. Okay. Here's the IB is set now, officially. It's set right at yesterday's rejection area too. Right here. Right at the area. Boom. Ideally, I would like to see now if we can get a run on these lows, somewhere around here. Come down here, and then hold. I don't know what this line is. So break the cluster of lows here, somewhere around this area right here. I'm down to 380, sub 380 or so. Put in a failed breakdown there, and I'll get long for a continuation into the IB. Like that. Boom. It's got to come down there. Oops, let me draw that out again. Somewhere around here. See if it does that. Do a small continuation long from there. $370 would be ideal because that's the current value low. Near the current value low. Okay. Hitting 80s here, see if it holds. I'd like to see a probe a little bit into it. The current value low is what? Yeah, 370. So somewhere in between the 370 where that value low is. I lead probe into it and then it reclaims back above. You can see the current value lows right there, 369. So ideally somewhere in this vicinity. Trade here. Yeah. So they can give me that fill or area to trade. And really just the target is going to be that IB trade, IB long. I can trail it past that gray, but I'm looking for just the break of the IB high. Only because there's a statistical probability of it breaking. About 78% chance of it breaking out on any given session. So I like the probability. I just don't know if they'll give me the fill area. where the risk reward will make sense. Because they tested 80 and then they're already up 10 points from there and they're squeezing. I might have missed the entry. That's fine. I didn't want it there, honestly, because the stop loss would have to be about 20 points from there, and I don't want that. And it makes sense for the stop needing to be so wide. Even this morning, I did not like where the stop had to be. It had to be like 25 points. But that's the regime we're in because of the VIX. The VIX is 21. What is that at right now, actually? When the VIX expands, stop losses expand with it. Which is where I am. The reason I actually like having that. The position sizer. Yeah, the VIX is 20. Bob? They're going for the IB, man. I missed the entry. Well. You won't regret it, no, no. Okay. Sorry? Oh, okay. Most of the things for what? Most of the things for what? Oh. Does he know he has a field trip? Okay. Yeah. You need to do it before they start, huh? See if they come back in, man, by any grace, any miracle. I'll put a price alert here in case it does dip. How do you do it on Sierra? That's the one thing I don't know how to do yet. How to make alerts on Sierra chart. Chart. Let me see. Is there a way to do it? Studies. Yeah, no, I don't know how to do it. I'm not well versed in Sierra just yet. Let's see. Alert. They're coming down again. Let's see if they do it. We're getting a little bit lower. Cannot say. I mean, I guess I could just draw a line and then put an alert on that. Certainly know how to do that. Tool. Horizontal line. Here, and then just put a alert on that line. Alerts. Process. Below. Only trigger once. Last. There you go. Breaks, I'll get an alert from Sierra chart here. Idea, I like that zone for a break. Again, we're targeting the IBH if it does break above. Do a failed breakdown there. I'm actually surprised how quickly they ramped it this morning. I'm glad I got the fill early in the morning on that long. I could just see the tape move quickly there. At peripheral, I'm always kind of watching the DOM because I can see the pace of the DOM on the corner of my eye. That's primarily I like having is the pace, and then also the amount of delta being traded in one zone. I think someone asked that earlier, like what do I look for? If you get a strong open, like the DOM is very telling of what potentially is possible for the day. If you get a very strong open and the DOM is like very high frequency, very volatile, you can see it on the DOM. You know that the session is going to be a pretty big one. That's something that's very telling about the DOM, is that it tells you a lot about the open or the potential for the rest of the session, depending on how the DOM is kind of moving around, kind of fidgeting. There's some days where it's a very slow grind. You can see it. It's like molasses. The tape is very thin. It's moving relatively slow. It's just kind of leaning in both directions. Tells you it's a balanced, not a lot of passive participants. And then you get a strong open with a lot of velocity. You can tell that it's going to likely be a very strong session, volatile session. 3380. What did they come into? Just above 80s, man. I guess I might be just too picky on the entry. They keep pushing it every time they hold the area. What? Okay. I think that this is not going to break down, man. They keep saving the 80s. Yesterday, the reason I like the 80s too is that it's the yesterday's kind of midpoint point of control overnight during the first initial consolidation. It's holding pretty well. And it was also the 88 was yesterday's close. I just want to be the first bid here at this area. I want to see a low get swept first. So I'll be patient and see if they give it to me. It might take a while if they do end up doing it, and that's fine. I don't want to rush into a bid. You can see that they're just chopping around this area here. At some point, we're going to get a sweep and see if they can actually hold it or not. All right, there's a cluster of lows here. I want to see get swept. Okay. See if they give me that fill. Still waiting for that trade again. Sweep below, then gets held above. Come on. Come on. Just waiting. Do. Yeah, today's definitely going to be an open auction. Neither side has conviction. You can see the bears have conviction above the 90s, that's for sure. And the bulls had conviction at the 50s, which is the current week's value area low, the 60-50 area. And which we discussed here at Substacks. If you guys don't read the newsletter, I recommend it. Here it's breaking down. Let's see. Is the area I want to see break. So let's see here. It's breaking down. I'm kind of keeping an eye on the DOM instead right now, as opposed to reading this. Let me erase my drawing. Okay. Hey, Sierra didn't give me an alert. What the heck? We're heading into the valley low. There's 71, 72. See if it probes VWAP on the dip and then reclaims 72. I'll just bid here and then below the VWAP 60. And then we'll target this area here. Again, the IBI. Someone came in and bid 200 lots there too. Go. We'll see if it holds or not, but something like that. We'll stay below VWAP. That might be a mistake, but I like it because it's small sized, and we're looking for again a break of the IB high. Breaky of the IBHE. It holds 80s, it can go. It needs the 80 area. It's kind of where we bounced from a few times, you know, when we were going. If it holds or not. Anyway, that'll be the trade. I'll kind of set it and forget it for now, because if it breaks below VWAP, this is probably a lot of underlying weakness. Oh, come on. I hate this stupid trail thing. I gotta remove it. I gotta re-enter? Yeah, I gotta re-enter the trade. I have to take it off for now because it won't let me trade. The thing is, like, it trailed me out because I have this profit trigger flattened. And if it goes over a certain threshold and comes back, it'll take me out because I'm up 579 on the day and it doesn't want me to give back profits. I might not be able to take it, but I did take it on another account, so I guess I'll do that here. Right there. There you go. We'll do that for now then. Can't take it on this account, so because that one's already locked out, so to speak. There you go. If this fails to hold here, then there's probably a worse or a bigger dip than just whatever happened here. See if it holds or not. Oh man, they're gonna take me out. The VWAP is right here at 65. It's kind of where you want to see them hold. You gotta never tell me I smell like weed. Or I smell like weed. A bit more. There's quite a few bids there coming. Wait a minute. How many did you add? 7 lots. That wasn't how much I was trying to make. Ugh. Sometimes I hate that I do this. I added too many lots. It was supposed to be 5. Anyway, there's bid stacking. There's some reaction there. You can kind of see the heat map is... they're getting some action here. Definitely an indication that they're trying to do something big here. I want to size some of this down, unfortunately, because it's just too big. But it's fine. City, smoke out the window. I ain't never been a bitch though. What a game. You know how this shit go. I'm gonna bring down 2 lots because I don't want to be at 10 lots. There you go. Now I'm down to 10. Okay, that's the size I wanted. See if they hit it. There's a big reaction there at 75. So definitely sellers want to press below 75. If they fail, then they're gonna be SOL. If bulls fail, I'm SOL. Someone's SOL at the end of this. It's either me or the bull or the bears. You can see there's definitely a reaction there, or activity, let's just say, between bulls and bears here, between this little area. So it's a massive zone, I would say. If they break below VWAP, you get a massive dip. Probably comes back to the 50s again. Yeah, they're rejecting hard. If it doesn't and reclaims 80, then they come back to the IB. So big zone here. You can clearly see the activity is trying to push. And it's likely because of it's a value area low for the week right here. Breaking down, probing into the VWAP, and there likely is a sweep if they do. It looks like they're going to sweep just under the VWAP here. Ah, man, not a good trade. Oh well. Ah. I probed right into VWAP, and then our holdings currently barely holding. What? All right, cool. Overall, pretty weak pushes by the bulls. I'm likely assuming I'll get stopped out on this. They're holding VWAP barely though. Barely. We'll see if it holds or not. Like Rick Foil. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not looking like it. Every little pop gets rejected here. Very weak action. Another seller hit the tape there. Yeah, the sellers are definitely taking control here. One and stop down. All right, let me see. We'll do that. Oh, I think it should have found all of them. There it is. So that's not good. One green, one red. That's annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, big battle. Bears won that one again. Breaking below the value low for the week, and then the current value low for the session. And we're technically imbalanced down. We still haven't broken either IB, but it seems like they want to take out the IB low. We'll see if that ends up happening or not, but yeah. Hi. All right. And Sierra never alerted me when I traded below this. Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, no alert sound. That's why. I didn't have alert sound. Wow. I mean, if this fails here, it should test the overnight low. We'll know if it does, but if this does truly fail here, it should come down into, I would say, at least 320, 300. The other extreme of the range, just down here. There's an extreme here, and there's one here. And the velocity is pretty high. There's the put wall. I'm not sure if they're going to defend the put wall. If they do, it'd be a good try, but we'll see. But the put walls definitely have been fading with the short delta regime we're in. Oh, they're getting massive bids here. Look at that. We'll take it against the IBL. See if they fail the IBL, but yeah. I have a last trade here, but massive bids there showed up right at the open, right below the current put wall. 388. I don't want to see the IBL get taken, but I'll target that area more or less as a stop loss. If they don't take out the IBL, then they'll take out the IBH more or less. Those bids did not defend a thing again. Wow. Where's the IBL? 35s? About 7 points away. Yeah. I cannot lean on bulls much anymore. Dang, the regime is totally shifted. They failed below the put wall so far. And they're coming for the IBL. That's a massive failed move. So what they did essentially is trade this area, again, massive area. And they failed to defend the open low. If that doesn't hold, then they're gonna, again, there's a bigger move afoot. So if this doesn't get defended, this little low right here, then they'll have to come down here. And if that fails, then we even come even lower to yesterday's low. We can have another breakdown like yesterday, essentially. And it becomes a multi-distribution sell down again. Pretty insane. We'll see. If they reclaim here, then they can test VWAP, and then from VWAP we see. Very interesting stuff going on lately at the market. Big reactions both ways. This is a nice push. I'll add size to it. The put wall is holding so far. I'm not sure if it'll defend or not. Say like loose change, so my life is on boot, right? Bro is a hero and I am your Bruce Wayne. So the 70s is where I really want to take some off. We'll see if they do that or not, but you don't want to see them hold 70s. You don't want to see bearish kind of reject that 70s again. That's kind of where the value low meets a lot of this resistance. So around here, like 64, 70. It will keep the auction imbalance down. And it's currently where the weekly value low is too, 64 or 60. It's also where the VWAP is, ironically. So anywhere in this vicinity is where you don't want to see price reject. You want to see it accept. You use how you said that. Be sure. There you go, they took me out there. I'm down to a runner, 3 lots. I'm gonna go from there. Going out outside, but let's pretend that is alright. I brought it right back, my entry. Let's see here. They're failing again. Let me crazy. They held below VWAP. They rejected, so technically we're in balance down still. Until 63 recovers or 64. So the trend continuation down was that test down to take out the IBL. We'll see if it does that. But overall, it looks like I'm gonna get rejected on the pulse up, on the move up. Kind of similar to yesterday. Yesterday we had a very similar dynamic. We broke the prior day high. Where is it at? Right here. We broke above the prior day high. Let me pull up the chart here. So pretty similar structure actually. We broke the prior day high, overnight low, and then we broke down, got below the VWAP, and then we broke the IBL right here. And then we continue to break down. Today so far, yeah, we had the overnight high. We couldn't hold the overnight high. We broke below VWAP, rejecting, gonna take out the IBL probably. Kind of similar to yesterday's playbook. They might take out the IBL right here too, and that's where my stop is. So they'll take me out on that, and then that'll be it for me today. Once the IB is taken, I'm pretty much wrapped up because there's no other targets I can take for the day. So we'll see if they defend the IBL or not, but if they take me out, I'm done for the day. Not much else I can do after that in terms of targets and structure. That's pretty much my hard line there. They reclaim. I'm willing to add a couple more lots here on a reclaim. Let's see. Above the put wall. I would like to see more volume get built up into it. Yeah. Oh, where is it? This one? Yeah. Well, that's pretty much going to be the what I'm waiting for. Either it stops me out, reclaims, and goes higher. The auction currently favors similar structure to yesterday, so my stop loss being tagged or taken on this. All right, we'll add a couple lots here near my stop. just to see if they defend the ABL by any chance. Trying to put the stop loss right next to each other, but not doing it right now. Fine. And stop that. Alright, well, that's it for me today, guys. They probed the IBL. Not much to target now in terms of dynamics intraday. Trend favors the same structure as yesterday, probably further downside. I would say at least 320 or 330 and then 305. Bears held below 360s. I will be back tomorrow. Hope you guys have a good rest of your session. Doo -doo -doo.